Welcome everybody to Blerdlines. This is your man Cam. With me as always is,
The other Cam Bigelow in the house.
as well as,
Sporty Smurf, aka Josh.
and keeping us honest, bringing up the rear.
The Professor.
One of the things that kind of popped up on the radar is a Hong Kong cinema pure martial arts flick. This one is for mainstream release in America. It's called The Furious. So the director is Kenji Tanigaki, and the last three films, actually, which I've all seen, have been The Prosecutor, Twilight of the Warriors, Walled In, and Sakura. Two of those are directed by Donnie Yen. And then Twilight of the Warriors is a crime city, basically. It was a historical thing that they brought into the modern, and it won a bunch of awards and all that kind of stuff. But all three of those films are marked by their high action, high martial arts. And the director, he was a director on two of them, and he was a stunt coordinator on the others. And so this is his first directing one. And it's cool that he got a major Lionsgate release in America and in terms of mainstream stuff. So that's the other part that caught my interest as well.
It does give the vibe of the Ray Redemption, especially when they have that 2-on-2 face off. And the Ray Redemption had some realistic gutter moves where like the dude got slammed, broke his neck. The hallway fight scene, which is a la Daredevil or a la Ray Redemption. Whenever you see a hallway scene, you know it's about to go down. The story looks very typical. Kidnapping, guy goes to save his daughter. We're going to see some what the fuck moments in that. I'm not too familiar with the main actors in the movie.
The actor that's fighting the main guy in those red tracksuit, he's actually plays one of the villains in the Ray Redemption 2.
Again, for everyone that hasn't seen The Raid, you need to put that in the lexicon of your like martial arts stuff.
Part of the appeal is that it was more in your face than the traditional martial arts that most mainstream audiences are familiar with. And it did come off as a kind of very rugged street fighting mix of street fight and martial arts, like do what you have to do, but also there's the discipline behind it, but it felt less choreographed.
My homie Kenny Wong, he's a stunt guy, and he was like, when Winter Soldier came out, and The Raid that came out too in the theaters at the same time, and he was like, dude, go watch Winter Soldier first and then watch The Raid. I'm like, why? He's like, just do it. So when I watched Winter Soldier, I totally enjoyed it. I love the action scenes. I thought it was really fun. Then I watched The Raid, and I was like, holy shit. Rewatched Winter Soldier. I was like, why are they moving so slow? And he told me, he was like, yeah, Winter Soldier. He's like, yo, it's a fun movie. It's good on American standards. Then you watch The Raid, and that shit is just mind blowing.
Kenny is the biggest bubble burster of all time. The problem is typically with the cinematography in American filmmaker. Taking The Raid, for example, being an Indonesian style, the camera is not static. It's mobile. It's moving with the main character as they are fighting. And so I think that just takes a little bit more time than what is allowed on the set of an American film. They rehearse the hell out of the choreo. And so that way, when they get to set, there's a minimum of resets. American filmmaking production does not allow for that. No, it does not. That's why you can see it in a film like A Winter Soldier, where it's not them doing legitimate martial arts. It's just doing what they need to do for whatever the scene requires them to do.
Talking to people that do that type of work and then kind of giving their experience is always fun. And I remember because Kenny had sent me his reel one time. He was in Iron Fist and Daredevil. Daredevil, he was Random Ninja number 7. And then in Iron Fist, he was like a thug or something like that. But his reel literally was just him getting thrown out the window or getting killed, basically.
We can take it back to the Shaw brothers and how they used the wire work and what they were integrating a good story with good fight choreography. In America, we had Jim Kelly and that type of style fighting, but then there was the Bruce movement. He was unlike any actor or martial artist on screen, moving so fast. Then we had the Jackie Chan, and then we had a Jet Li era. Each one brought something different. And then we moved forward to Tony Jaa, who introduced a different type of fighting style, which we had never seen before.
And then much longer takes.
And then, I don't know when Old Boy came out, but that singular fight scene, it wasn't much of a martial arts movie, but the fight choreography was kind of different. And I think we're in a different movement from like The Protector to The Raid Redemption, this style. I call it beautifully persistent and relentless fighting. It's ugly because it's rooted in realism. If you ever gotten into a fight, it's never beautiful. It's very ugly. This is why I gravitated to Daredevil when it was on Netflix and The Punisher, because it was brutal and it was brutally honest and it looked real. Now, granted, I did like to see some overpowered character just be flawless victory. I do like that from time to time. But there's something awesome when you see your fighter getting beat up but still winning and finding creative ways that are not stylistically graceful when they win a fight. And I think that's what potentially this new movie might show us. We're in a new movement right now, and then we're going to see if they're going to be progressive and move it forward with future movies, hopefully.
This looks really cool. I think we're all kind of excited to see it and see where it goes. And yeah, check out those movies we recommended. There's a bunch of them. They're really dope. There's a lot of good Hong Kong cinema out there. So we'll talk to you guys soon. And we out. Peace.
Shout out Jim Cotta.
Woo, Jim Cotta, let's go.